Something happened last night, and you still don't fully realize what it means. The Archangels watched, stunned, because the shift that moved through the spiritual realm wasn't small, it was seismic. It was silent on the outside, but on the inside, within the unseen layers of your destiny, something clicked into place. You might think it was just another night, another moon, another quiet moment when you simply closed your eyes and drifted into sleep. But that's where you're wrong, because while you slept, something awakened inside you, something that had been waiting patiently for years. The moment the energy shifted, the archangels paused. They recognized your frequency changing, rising, unlocking. They saw your timeline bend, your past detach, and your future open like a doorway that had been sealed for far too long. Last night was not a normal night for your soul. It was the night your spirit finally received permission to move forward. And even though your conscious mind might not understand it yet, the deeper part of you, the ancient part, already knows something is different today. You felt it when you woke up, something subtle, a thought that didn't belong to yesterday, a lightness that shouldn't have been there, a whisper in your intuition telling you, something shifted, pay attention. That whisper wasn't your imagination, it was guidance, a call, a reminder that you are stepping into a phase of life that your soul has been preparing for long before you ever knew why you struggled the way you did, why the timing never worked, why the doors stayed closed, or why you kept feeling like something bigger was coming. Last night, that something bigger finally took shape. Because in the stillness of the night, your energy recalibrated. Your spiritual pattern was rewritten. The archangels weren't shocked because something bad happened. They were shocked because something finally happened for you, something you were not supposed to miss, but somehow you almost did. And yet, in the final moment, the energy aligned anyway. The shift came anyway, and you were chosen anyway. Right now, as you listen, your spirit is catching up to the change that began while the world slept. You're not imagining the slight heaviness in your chest or the tingling in your hands. You're not imagining the sudden clarity you can't explain, the sudden sense that the old version of you has already faded, or the sudden feeling that something or someone is guiding you more closely today than ever before. That is the after effect of a spiritual awakening you didn't initiate, but were called into. The archangels watched you last night because they knew your energy needed protection during this shift. They knew you were on the edge of stepping into a timeline where your purpose becomes unavoidable. They knew that once the shift happened, the wrong people would no longer have access to your spirit. Toxic energies would disconnect without explanation. Old cycles would lose power over you. And your intuition, the one thing you doubted for years, would suddenly sharpen like a blade. Last night was a night of separation. The energy that changed wasn't just for your growth, it was for your protection. Certain situations, certain patterns, and certain people cannot follow you where your spirit is going next. They were removed in silence. They were blocked without announcement. They were cut off in the spiritual realm long before you become aware in the physical one. And the archangels were shocked not because of the shift itself, but because of how strongly your soul responded to it. You didn't resist this time. You didn't cling to what was hurting you. You didn't hold on to what was draining you. You allowed the universe to move things on your behalf. You allowed your spirit to be elevated. And without knowing it, you stepped into alignment with your divine path in a way you never have before. The awakening that began last night is not temporary. You are entering a season where what felt delayed will feel accelerated. What felt heavy will become light. What felt impossible will start to show signs of life. Don't be surprised if you begin seeing repeating numbers, vivid dreams, or sudden insights. The veil between your intuition and your destiny is thinner than it has ever been. You may feel emotional for no reason. You may feel exhausted. You may feel strangely calm. All of these are signs that the awakening has started, and your spirit is adjusting to the shift. Here is the part most people never understand. When a powerful spiritual shift happens, nothing in the physical world changes immediately. But you do, and once you change, everything around you begins to rearrange to match your new frequency. That's why the Archangels are still watching today, because your next steps matter more than you realize. If you've made it this far, don't forget to subscribe for daily cosmic insights, astrology updates, and spiritual guidance, because the universe always has a message for you. You are in a window of transformation where your thoughts are stronger, your intentions are louder, and your energy is magnetically attracting what belongs to your next chapter. This is the moment when the timeline you've been waiting for begins to merge with the timeline you were destined for. The past will start releasing you. The opportunities that avoided you will slowly find their way back. The people meant for you will begin feeling pulled toward your energy without knowing why. Your spirit is no longer in survival mode. It's in activation mode. And the world around you will soon reflect that. You may notice small things first. A message you weren't expecting. A sign that feels too perfect to ignore. A feeling of being watched over, protected, guided. The Archangels are closer to you now than they have been in years, because the shift that happened last night opened a spiritual channel you weren't ready for before. But you are ready for now. The awakening within you is real. The shift around you is real. And the path ahead of you is clearing in ways you never thought possible. You might not fully believe it yet. You might still doubt, question, wonder if this message is really meant for you. But the Archangels already confirmed it. It is. The energy that moved last night was your sign, your turning point, your spiritual initiation into a higher phase of destiny. And here's the truth that will hit you days from now. Something inside you already knows this is the beginning. Something in your chest feels lighter, stronger, more aligned. Something in your intuition is whispering that your life is about to change, not gradually, but suddenly. And when it does, you will remember this moment. You will remember this message, and you will finally understand why the Archangels were shocked, because they saw the version of you that is finally awakening now. This is your shift, your awakening, your confirmation. And trust me, this time you won't miss what's meant for you. There is something you need to understand now, something the Archangels have been waiting for you to realize. The shift that happened last night didn't just change your energy, it changed your timeline. You stepped out of an old pattern, one that kept repeating, trapping you in cycles that drained your spirit, and you entered a higher path without even trying. Most people never recognize the exact moment their soul transitions into a new phase. But with you, the shift was so intense, so undeniable, that even the Archangels paused to witness it. They saw the weight fall off your energy. They saw cords you couldn't cut finally dissolve. They saw the old version of you, the one tired, wounded, doubting, second-guessing, finally release its grip. And what rose in its place was your true self, the self that has been waiting to emerge for years. Your awakening wasn't subtle, it was powerful, it was necessary, and above all, it was divinely timed. Since last night, the spiritual world has been rearranging moments, people, and opportunities to meet your new vibration, You may not see the changes yet, but the process has already begun. Doors that were locked are beginning to shift in their frames. Paths that were hidden are slowly being illuminated, and energies that were blocked are now flowing toward you with a force that will soon become impossible to ignore. The archangels are not just watching you, they are guiding you. Every moment of clarity, every sudden realization, every unexpected sign is their way of confirming that the awakening within you is real. And soon, very soon, you will see something in your physical world that proves the shift has started. Last night's awakening didn't just elevate your spirit, it awakened something ancient within you. A memory, a purpose, a knowing. You've felt it today, haven't you? That strange calmness mixed with anticipation, like your soul is preparing you for something your mind doesn't yet understand. That's because you are stepping into alignment with the reason you were placed on this earth. For so long, you lived in a lower vibration out of survival. You felt things deeply. You carried burdens that weren't yours. You healed wounds no one apologized for. You stayed strong even when life kept breaking you in places no one could see. And yet, through all of that, you didn't collapse. You didn't lose your light. You didn't give up on your future. The awakening last night was not random. It was a reward. The universe has watched you grow through storms you never asked for, but still overcame. And the archangels felt the moment your frequency shifted into readiness. They saw you release pain you've held on to for years. They saw you detach from people who weren't aligned with your destiny. They saw you soften, open, and rise all at once. You are not entering a season of change, you are entering a season of clarity. The confusion that held you hostage will begin to disappear. The people meant for you will feel drawn closer. Opportunities that once slipped away will return with greater force, and the blessings that were blocked will begin approaching you from directions you never expected. The archangels know your heart has been waiting for this phase, even when your mind doubted it would ever come. And the truth is, this awakening wasn't just for your growth, it was for your protection. The new version of you will never fall into the traps that once broke you. You have risen too far. You have awakened too deeply. Your spirit is too strong now. Here is the part that may bring you chills. Last night's energy shift activated a spiritual transition that will unfold over the next 21 to 33 days. During this time, you will notice synchronicities that feel too perfect, too specific, too accurate to be coincidence. That is not luck. That is alignment. That is your new energy pulling the right experiences toward you. The archangels are especially close to you right now because this is a delicate window. You are shedding an old identity, an old vibration, an old life. And the new one that is forming requires your awareness, your intuition, your trust. There will be moments when you feel emotional without reason, moments when you feel tired as your energy resets, moments when you feel unusually inspired or suddenly awakened in the middle of the night. All of these are signs of spiritual expansion, but the most powerful sign of all will be the shift in your heart. The heaviness will lift, the doubt will weaken, the fear will loosen. And in its place, a quiet confidence will rise. Not loud, not forced, but steady, calm, undeniable. You will begin to feel protected in a way you haven't felt in years, guided in a way you cannot logically explain, positioned in a way that feels intentional, because it is intentional. The archangels were shocked last night because they witnessed you stepping into the version of yourself that your destiny has been waiting for. You may not see it yet, but soon you will. Soon, the right people will begin appearing, the right opportunities will emerge, the right path will reveal itself. Your awakening was not an accident, your shift was not random. This is the moment your life begins to align with your true purpose. This is the moment your spirit rises into its real power. This is the moment everything changes, quietly at first, then all at once. When it happens, you will remember these words, and you will know. The Archangels knew who you were all along. Last night, you finally remembered too.